Good morning and welcome to this Friday edition of the Inspirational Interruptions LinkedIn Live livestream. And yes, in Kansas City, it is Red Friday because the Chiefs are playing the Super Bowl on Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles. No offense to my Eagles fans, no offense to any of my friends from Philadelphia, but not this year. Not this year. So, what I want to talk about today, along the theme of the week of a success mindset, is success in the face of doubt. Because I think we've all been there before, and whether it's an external doubt that's been cast on you by somebody else or an internal doubt. We have negative thoughts about our performance or our abilities all the time. But when we silence those voices, or when we keep those voices in our minds, but move past them with relentlessness and success mindset, they become silent because you can prove your value through your actions and through your behavior. So I want you to stop and think about the last person that doubted your ability, that said you weren't good enough, not talented enough, didn't have the right skill set. And I want to tie that to a story that broke last night where Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs was named the NFL MVP for the second time. Now, this guy has only been in the league for a few years. And I went back and looked at some of the scouting reports because in Kansas City, we kind of took it personally that everybody else didn't want this guy, thought he was a bad choice, had these crazy, unreliable skills, and he comes out of a Texas Tech offense that was very unpredictable, and he was just all over the board. He would throw a great pass one play and then throw it into the third row the next. So that mentality, think about somebody coming in and their dream is to play in the NFL. And all of these people are saying these things, that he's not good enough. He's not worth the trade up. He's not worth a high draft pick because he's so unreliable. Now, I want to share this graphic with you. This is what Patrick Mahomes has done in the 5 years as an NFL starter. Now, he became a Chief 6 years ago, but he was on the bench following and learning from Alex Smith, another phenomenal quarterback, which, side note, if you've not watched Alex Smith's TED Talk, please go watch it. Viewer discretion advised because he has an amazing story, but it has a lot of gruesome injury details about it. But Patrick Mahomes studied and learned from Alex Smith, learned from Andy Reid, and he had the skills. He had the ability. He just needed a little bit of fine tuning, which is, comes with growth. We all can grow. Every single person watching this or not watching this, I don't care. Every single person in the entire world has room for growth. But this is what this guy has accomplished in 5 years. 5 years. 2-time NFL MVP, 5 AFC titles, 3 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl MVP so far, probably 2 by Sunday night, 3 times All-Pro, 5 Pro Bowls, 2 times passing leader, and the NFL record for most passing yards in a season. This guy, who was doubted so heavily coming into the NFL, has done this. Has done these things, has accomplished these things. Now, yes, he is a part of a team. And yes, he is part of a system that is full of amazing coaches and things like that. But he's putting his talent into action, which is exactly what you should be doing. Now, I don't know what your Pro Bowl is. I don't know what your Super Bowl is. I don't know what your MVP title is. But I want you to think about those who have doubted you in the past, those who doubt you currently. And I want you to think about Patrick Mahomes. He has continued to push through. He has continued to improve. The guy is a leader he is a dynamic leader. And so I think the lesson here is that people can think what they want. People are always going to doubt you, especially if you have a lot of potential, especially if you're showing signs of greatness. There will be doubters. There will be people that don't want to see you succeed for whatever personal reasons they have. But in you lies a phenomenal amount of greatness, talent, opportunity, potential, and it's up to you to silence those doubters, especially yourself. Because again, external noise will always be there. There will always be somebody who, wants to succeed more than you and would rather drag you down into the mud than lift you up and support you. But when it comes to our own self-doubt, our own mental blocks, our own criticism, within us, that is when you can use one word. This is the one word that I use because I will admit I have battled imposter syndrome more times than I care to count. I have battled self-doubt more times than I care to count. I've let it take up too much time in my life. But once I learned how to silence my own inner critic, it changed the game for me. It allowed me to do things that I didn't think possible. Everything from running the New York City Marathon to appearing on game shows to becoming a global keynote speaker to doing all the things that I've succeeded in doing. But none of those would have been possible without silencing my own inner critic. And the one word that I use all the time when it starts creeping in, because it still creeps in every single day, that one word, nope. Because I know what I have available to me. I know what my potential is. I know the things that I can achieve. And I know when I put in the work that great things happen. But it's when that inner doubt creeps up and I say, nope, I'm not going down that path right now. So when you feel that start creeping in, when you feel the slightest amount of doubt creep in, I want you to silence that critic. Nope. Walk away, do something different, catch your breath, stand up from your desk, go for a walk. I had a long conversation with a good friend of mine, Emily Chen, last night, where I was talking about how I disrupt my mentality with music as well. I have a confidence playlist, 5 minutes. I listen to one song, I'm back in it. So find what that is for you. How do you silence your inner critic? How do you change your mentality when you start slipping down that slope? Maybe it's a keyword. Maybe it's a song or a playlist. Maybe it's calling a friend or texting a friend and looking for some support. It's okay. We all suffer with it. We all suffer with that self-doubt. We all suffer with imposter syndrome. We all go through these situations where we feel like somebody else is criticizing us and that we're not good enough or we're not worthy enough. So it is really up to you to decide how high you want to go, how big you want to go, what you want to achieve. It's not up to anybody else. That is your decision to make and yours alone. And when you decide to embrace your greatness and your potential, you can be your own Super Bowl MVP. It is that possible. And yes, it sounds cheesy, but it's true. Because you need to figure out what that version of Patrick Mahomes' success is for you. Maybe it's becoming the national sales leader. Maybe it's becoming a CMO. Maybe it's becoming a speaker. Maybe it's opening your own business. What is your Super Bowl? What is your success? What are the things that you can do to establish greatness for yourself and nobody else? That is what you need to figure out today and this weekend. So figure out what that is. So figure out your goals, figure out what your Super Bowl is, figure out how you're going to stop your own negative self-talk, and find the greatness within you because it's there. We just let other people's opinions cover it up for us sometimes. Today is the day you break through that, pull it back out, and utilize it every single day. So happy Friday, happy Red Friday. And I am so excited to be continuing this series. And I'm going to be doing this every weekday between 7 and 7:30 in the morning Central Time. If you have information that you want me to talk about, if you have a topic that you want me to cover, or if you just need some resources, if you want my Spotify confidence playlist, you can either search me or you can go send me an email, rich@richbracken.com. I'm happy to share it with you. You can also find the link on my website, richbracken.com. But I want you to find your greatness. I want you to find your Super Bowl, and I want you to be the Super Bowl MVP in your world and find that success and happiness. Happy Red Friday, y'all.